May I mention something uncomfortable? Most people who downloaded an AI tool in the last 6 months have not gotten better. They have only gotten faster at producing the same mediocre content that they were already making, and they're wondering why it's not getting anywhere. But here's the truth. AI has not closed the gap between good brands and average ones. It widened it because everyone now has the same tools. But what separates a brand that actually wins from the one who disappears is the creative thinking on how those tools are used. And that thinking is not something a tool can actually give. It's a skill. And today we're going to talk about what skills matter, why most people are skipping them, and what it actually costs you when you do. This is not a feel-good video. It is a wake-up call. Let's go. My name is AJ Immaculate, and this is AOP Digital Africa, a creative marketing agency based in Abuja, built specifically to help African businesses stop being invincible online. And if you watched our last video on free AI tools, you heard me say something at the end. Tools gets you faster, makes you faster. Strategy makes you effective, but you need both. So this video is the second half of that conversation. Subscribe if you have not, and share this with someone building a brand. Let's go. Before we get into the lists, I need you to understand why this video or why this conversation even needs to happen. We're living through the moment where the barrier of creating content has never been lower. Anyone with a phone and a free account can generate a video, design a graphic, write a caption. The technical wall is basically gone. So here's the question that should keep you up at night. If everyone is creating or making content, what should make yours worth watching? The answer is never the tool, the resolution, it is never the filter or the template. It is always the idea behind it, the clarity in the message, the understanding of the person on the other side. That is what we're building today. 5 creative skills that determine whether your content gets scrolled past or makes people stop. And I'm going to be direct about what happens to your brand when you're missing each one. Here we go, skill number 5, visual storytelling. And before you scroll past thinking you don't need this one, stay with me. Because visual storytelling is not about making things look nice or good. It does not. Visual storytelling means knowing what to show and in what order to make someone feel something specific. It is the difference between a video of your product and a video that actually makes people feel like their life is incomplete without your product. Think about the last piece of content that stopped you mid-scroll. I guarantee it was not the most technically polished thing you had seen that day. It made you feel something in the first 2 seconds. Curiosity, recognition, tension. That feeling was not an accident. Someone made a deliberate decision about what image or moment to lead with and why. Without it, you are just creating content. With it, you're telling a story that pulls people in. Talking about story. Skill number 4, messaging clarity. And this is the one I see most brands, big or small, completely fall apart. Here's a test. Look at these 3 pieces of content. For each one, you can complete the sentence in 10 words or less. This content makes your audience feel or do blank. If you cannot complete the sentence, your audience definitely cannot feel it. And that content does not have a clear emotional and behavioral background or purpose. It just becomes noise. Beautiful, expensive, well-produced noise. The brands that produce or the brands that confuse you with too many messages are not being thorough, they're being unclear. And unclear is forgettable. Every piece of content should do one thing, not 5. One thing, master that, and your content will start to feel like it has a point, because it will. Talking about point, skill number 3, audience empathy. This is the skill that separates brands people follow from brands people forget. And it is the one most people think they have, but actually do not. Audience empathy is not knowing your demographic. It is not knowing that your audience is a woman at 25 and 40 with a disposable income. That is data. Empathy is something different. Empathy is knowing what she is tired of hearing, what she has already tried but did not work, what she tells herself when she's awake at 11 p.m. thinking about her business, her brand, or the thing she's trying to build. What kind of content that makes her feel seen versus the kind that makes her feel like she's being sold to. When you create content from that place, from genuine understanding of what your audience is actually experiencing, it lands differently. It feels less like marketing and more like a conversation. And people do not scroll past conversations that feel like it was written for them. The brands that have built real communities online are not the ones with the biggest budgets or most followers. They are the one that makes your audience feel understood. That starts with empathy, and empathy is a skill that you need to deliberately develop. Talking about development, skill number 2. Creative direction. Now that AI is accessible to everyone, this skill has become the most valuable creative skill in the room. And almost nobody is talking about it. Creative direction is the ability to have a clear vision and communicate it precisely enough that the execution, be it an AI tool, a videographer, an editor, a photographer, produces exactly what you intended. Here's why it matters more than ever. AI tools do not make creative decisions. They execute instructions. The quality of what comes out is directly determined by the quality of what goes in. And what goes in is your brief, your vision, your understanding, your decision, your direction. If you cannot articulate what you want, the mood, the emotion, the specific feeling you're going for, the tool will give you something generic. And generic is exactly where brands go to disappear. Creative direction is also what lets you scale without losing your identity. It is what keeps your content looking and feeling like you. Even if you're using 10 different tools and working with different people, it is the through line that holds everything together. If you want to take one skill seriously from this list, make it this one. And talking about one, skill number 1 is a skill that actually makes everything work. Strategic consistency. I am not talking about posting every day. Frequency without strategy is just noise with a schedule. Strategic consistency means showing up with the same core message, the same point of view, the same understanding of your audience, repeatedly over time without losing the thread. And here is why this is number 1. Every other skill can be present in a single piece of content. A single video can have great visual storytelling, clear message, deep audience empathy, and strong creative direction, and still not build a brand on its own. Sad. Brands are not built on single pieces of content. They are built on patterns, by the cumulative effect of showing up in a recognizable way, over and over again until your audience know what you stand for, before you even say a word. The brands that audience trust are the ones that have been consistent enough that their presence alone communicates something. That consistency is not an accident. It is strategy. And it requires discipline, clarity, and a long term of commitment to the same core message, the same vision. Even when individual pieces do not perform the way it should, the way you hoped. Most brands give up too early. They change their angle, their aesthetic, their message every single week before anything ever goes out. All because something did not go the way they expected. All because something did not get the engagement they expected. And every time they pivot, they change the progress of something they had already built. They erase the progress. So stay in the direction. Trust the compounding effect. That is what strategic consistency looks like. Here's what I want you to take away from this. AI tools are real. They are powerful. We covered 5 of the best AI tools in our last video, and I stand by each one of them, every one of them. But tools are multipliers, and a multiplier applied to 0 is still 0. If you do not have a clear message, AI will say nothing faster. This is why AOP Digital Africa exists. Before we touch a single tool or produce anything for your brand, we apply these 5 skills. And trust me, the difference is not small. If you're a founder, a creative, a business owner, don't forget to like, comment, save this video, and I'll see you in the next one.